Okay, so I finally caught up to Haikyuu. I finished season 1 a while ago, and I have caught up to all the episodes that have been released so far of Haikyuu. So, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a review of Haikyuu episode 12. So let's get this started. Okay, so did anybody else notice how quickly this episode wrapped up? I mean, really, I guess you could say the main reason why this episode was fast-paced, at least in my opinion, was just for the fact that the majority of this episode really didn't focus on anything in particular. What it mainly focused on was how far Karasuno has developed as a team from the last few episodes of Haikyuu, because episodes 1 through 11 of the second season of Haikyuu was focused on the training arc, and in this episode it is just showing how far their teamwork has come, their communication with one another, their skill, their ability, and overall just how they play games now. I mean, they just, wiped the floor with this team that they went up against. The first round, they completely destroyed them. They completely just breezed through the first set, and then they breezed through the second set without any, struggle, really. And what I really love about Haikyuu is how it handles the wins and the losses in this anime. I mean, in the first season of Haikyuu, on episode 25, I believe, we see Karasuno go through a terrible loss. And then at the very next episode, we see that, they really need to do everything in their power, and they can't dwindle on the fact of loss, because then they're just gonna stay in a rut, basically. So they need to get out of that rut and do everything in their power if they do want to win these games, and that just brings more character development to these characters. Now, we also see that in this episode, especially with the other team, and they even mentioned that they are not a team that practices on a daily basis. They don't really practice that much. They admitted this. But still, seeing the character development with this team, even though we didn't really get much focus on them, it was pretty cool to see. Especially, there was this one particular individual who, they went up against a team in way back then, last year maybe, or whatever. And we see him that he didn't end up going for the ball. And his captain had to run all the way down to the floor in order to try to get the ball. Of course, the captain ends up failing, but it just goes to show you that if this individual ended up going for the ball, he could have possibly made a comeback for his team. But instead, right then and there, he just simply gave up and didn't even try, and it cost him the game, and also it cost his teammates to, dwindle on the fact of loss. And that's, you can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, there is, that's what I like about Haikyuu, though, because there are people like that who just say, you know what, we technically already lost. There's no point in trying anymore. But this episode, the message that this episode is trying to show you is that even though there might be a team stronger than you, and they have more experience than you, if you just simply give up and do not try, then you're not going to be rewarded, and it's going to cost you from winning future matches. You gotta put in your all for every game that you do. If anything, this pertains to anything, really. Put in your all for everything, and you will be rewarded. But if you do not put in your all for the specific thing that you were trying to do, then you are going to ultimately end up failing. Karasuno is a perfect example of this. Like I said before, in episode 25 of the first season of Haikyuu, we see the team go through a terrible loss, and they start to dwindle on this loss, and the more they dwindle on this loss, the more they come to the realization that things will remain unchanged. And that is when they make the declaration that, if we do give it our all 100%, we will get better and stronger. We need to overcome this, and that is what is shown in the first half of the second season of Haikyuu. Even though we might have a long training arc that took up the half of the second season, it was still well worth it, because look how far our team has come now. I mean, they have gone, they didn't give up. They had the determination even from losing that previous match, and they ended up losing 70 practice matches from apparently what the secondary coach said. the one who talks like Isaiah, the one who has the same voice actor as Isaiah, which I still can't get over, but yeah, anyway, you know, they ended up losing 70 matches, and they had no wins, but despite all of the losses that they faced, they still didn't give up, and that is what made them beat the overall team, not only for their experience in volleyball and how much they trained, but just because of their overall confidence within themselves. As far as the other team goes, we see that this team did not have 100% confidence as a team within themselves to defeat Karasuno, and that's what their captain was trying to make them realize early on. And by the end of the episode, we see that they bow to the captain because they finally open up their eyes that, you know, they need to give it their all in every match that they do if they want to get better and win. And that's finally what they came to the realization. They had to battle it out with Karasuno in order to realize this. So I really hope that this team comes back later down the line, because this would be really interesting to see them make a comeback. Like, you know, they get completely destroyed from Karasuno, as we see in this anime episode, but later down the line, what if the team actually comes back and poses a threat to Karasuno? Like, that would be really, really cool, in my opinion. But yeah, it looks like in the next episode, we're going to see Karasuno go up against a team who has a player over 2 meters tall. So what I got to say about this is that while I'm excited for the fight, I'm not really intimidated by it, because I know for a fact that our team is going to win. They didn't lose 70 matches for nothing, you know. And also, you know, even though this player might be really tall and might not even have to jump high to block the ball, you know, our team, Karasuno, shot down Dateko, you know, the iron wall, as it was once called, you know, but they brought down that wall. So if they can bring down the iron wall, they can bring down a single player trying to be a wall. But yeah, guys, I really enjoyed this episode. Really like the writing that Haikyuu has. It is probably one of the most realistic anime in terms of sports. That I've come across, so it is pretty good. I really like it. I'm really enjoying the series so far, and I'm really glad you guys recommended me this series. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you thought about this episode of Haikyuu. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you want to stay up to date to more of my future content on this channel, then please hit the red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a great day.